Hi there. Let me be in the clouds for a while here. I was just wondering, I wonder how many of you are realizing yet, and hopefully realizing it deeply, that I'm nothing special. I need you to know that. This nothing special that I am, you're every bit of that too. It's so wonderful. This is the I am. We all call ourselves I. That I knows. We call ourselves by the same name. Each and every person on the earth says I. So somehow, some way, we know of our underlying oneness, don't we? And it's the one that's magnificent. That's where the humility comes in. Humility is so beautiful. And it's not a thing of mind. So don't try to train your mind into humility. Mind is very good at playing charades and at acting and playing whatever part. Mind wants to be the solution and the answer to everything. So whatever you're after, mind will mimic that. And mind will say, look, it's me, it's me. It wants to continue living, to get to stay on a bit longer. But it's all a deception. And in heart, where you realize, I the nothing, thou the all. There's that in the midst of humility, the emptiness, the nothingness, the empty cup, you realize that you're the everything. So there are two sides, the two sides of that coin, the nothing and the all. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it beautiful? But I need you to see it in yourself as well. That's so important. Mind is such a liar, such a trickster. And as long as you occupy that territory, I'm not the guide for you. I can't help you there. I have a journal. I don't think it's recorded yet, but I come right out in it and say, I am not enlightened. And there are some out there who can claim that. Some few. I think a Byron Katie can go there. I know Jed McKenna has gone there. There are, I would say, probably an Eckhart Tolle, and probably an Adyashanti. There are those who could, and they're few, who could legitimately claim that. And you know, I don't think Eckhart would claim it for himself. I think a lot of them are too much aware of the humility that's necessary, that comes on you when you realize the way things really are. That's how you can be and have all this magnificence, all these great powers, my friends, is by recognizing that you're the nothing. They and get out of the head, you know. I have nothing to say to people in head. Well, very seldom. Now and then. Because I do. I step out of my space and my place where I am, quite consciously reaching out. I see all of us as a beautiful bridge, all connected. We're like a great big long daisy chain. Everyone holding, oh dear, I froze up again. There we go. Everyone holding two other people's hands, the one just ahead of you and the one just behind you. And we learn from the one ahead and we serve the one behind the best that we can. And mostly I'm finding that that service is in becoming transparent. We want to be transparent to the light so that the light will flow through. The light does not flow from, the light flows through. And you know, if we want to get ultimate here, and we can, in the in the allness, there is no flow. It's everywhere. When you're everywhere, there's no from and to. Um, and there's no communicating there either. Who would you communicate with when you're the all? What is it that you don't know that you need to tell yourself? I mean, it's all kind of crazy. And that's an underlying reality that's there, and that's available. And that's just as much you as it is me. And that's a reality. But there are so many perspectives. We've come out of that oneness, that union, that wholeness. We've come out to play. It came upon me in my morning coffee barefoot meditation that eternity and infinity are the playground of love. Isn't that beautiful? I've gotten to where I have to take tissues to my meditations anymore. It's amazing. But this is available to you too. Just step out of your mind. Do whatever it takes. Oh, and I wanted to share something with you too. It happens, excuse me, it happens to all of us as we're awakening, that we'll get inspired by something that we hear, something someone says, something that just rings those resonance bells inside of us. Whenever you can, I would counsel you to pick up pencil and paper, word processor, and write for a moment. When your inspiration comes, write for a moment. Center in heart and just start writing and see what happens, see what comes. You know, we get into, a lot of times, we get into these really high states of awareness, of consciousness, and we get these big understandings of how things are and how things work and how beautiful this or that is. And you find people everywhere mourning that that state has passed and they can't recreate it. And, you know, people will trek around for years trying to recreate a mountaintop experience. Well, two ideas on that. Number one, it's still there. Every moment, time is simultaneous, and so that experience still exists, and it's very accessible. It's just that you were up in the higher frequencies of you, and that's where it's stored. And if you want to access it, you'll access it when you're back in those higher frequencies. But the other thing is journal, my friends. Write. Get into the writing. The light will flow. You give it a way to flow and to teach and to instruct. You have an internal guide or teacher. Call it your higher self. I call it inner tuition sometimes. You have your own internal wisdom as well, your own intuition. But you can get into quite a flow with yourself. You may be the highest person around right now. You might not have, amongst your friends and acquaintance, your family, you might not have someone like a me or like a you that you can sit down face to face and have this conversation with. Well, have it with yourself. Have it with yourself. Things will be revealed to you. Light loves to play this way. Light loves to inform. You know, truth longs for you to see her. She won't come down into the dumps to visit, but she longs and yearns for you to reach out, or in this case, to reach in. So it's alchemical, this journaling. There's a magic to it, especially if you do it from heart. And if you're in the hurly-burly of the day and you have a moment's revelation on a break or at lunch or something, just jot a line down. Just something that will jog your memory. When we get into other states of consciousness, we lose access to these special experiences. But if you will write it down, it will give you something that you can follow back. And you can trek right back there on the highway of your words. Okay? So start developing a facility with that. And who knows, maybe you'll even want to post it on the internet one day. Stranger things have happened. I sure love you guys. Have a blessed life.